What's happening, everyone? Max here. Guys, if you're new to my channel, I look at all different types of people's communication skills and I give you my thoughts. I just checked out Kimi Raikkonen for the first time. I watched one of his interviews from a few years ago and I want to see more. I drew some semi-conclusions about his personality from the first interview I watched, him just really not seeming to give a shit about what anyone thinks about him. And in addition to that, him being just very honest, but still having a charm about him. So we're gonna check out this sort of funny seeming video called 15 Classic Kimi Moments. Here we go.
Hey, this is quite exciting, isn't it?
The guy doesn't get too hyped up on anything, huh? Like he doesn't buy into the hype at all, eh?
Kimi, there's a huge Finnish support here. Maybe a couple of words in Finnish for your fans before we go back to English.
Well, I think they all understand English, but
good point, fair enough.
He says what he wants. I mentioned this in my last video. I think he's just not afraid to be disagreeable. Whatever comes to his head, it feels like he says. And if that means challenging you in somewhat of a confrontational way, he's okay with doing that. You know, I think a lot of us get in our head about the social repercussions of what happens is if we disagree with someone. And I think what it comes down to is, oh, this person won't like me, or they're not gonna agree with what I say. And that's gonna reflect on my character and how I feel about myself. I think Kimi's cool with himself, so he doesn't need that external validation. So as a result, he's okay with being disagreeable or somewhat confrontational. Okay, so just...
We are 9.5 behind Bottas and 8 tenths a lap quicker.
What do you mean? We are behind Bottas.
Confirm we are behind Bottas.
How did we end up behind him? Why we didn't stop earlier?
He was leading the race, Kimi.
Okay, I thought that they were the other way around.
Direct, right? In that moment right there, direct but honest, not afraid to admit when he's wrong.
Okay, I thought that they were the other way around.
So again, he seems like this direct, somewhat confrontational guy in a way, and he's just going to say what he feels completely unfiltered. But at the same time, his ego's not so big to the point where he can't admit if he's wrong.
He dropped it coming back on the track. How embarrassing was that? And he's made a right mess of those tyres.
Kimi, what happened?
I spun.
And a bit of a disaster then for you and for a few others with the yellow flag.
I don't care what happened to the others.
You gotta love that, man. No ounce of caring what other people think. It's not for the cameras, it's not for the audience. I'm gonna do me. That's the energy that he gives. That's the style in which he communicates. And again, how can you not enjoy that?
What is it that Formula One gives you personally that makes you want to keep going?
Racing. That's about it.
Love it. Love it. Honest. Like I was sort of guessing in my last video, it doesn't feel like he's motivated by the trophies and the laurels. It feels like here's a dude who has a passion for racing. He loves it. You know, maybe he's an adrenaline junkie. He mentioned in his last interview he liked off-road biking or dirt biking or something. So it just happened to be something that he fell into. He was good at it. No fear really. And he excelled, and it's like, okay, this was a way for me to make money. That's sort of the energy that he gives, right?
I want to hit him on that day, for sure. He hits me now on the wrist.
All right, we're seeing some fire from Kimi. Let's go.
We're currently under threat from Michael behind.
I think there's just something very engaging and fascinating about someone who is unfiltered. You're not going to get like a canned, boring response. You might not get a lot out of him, but you're going to get directness and honesty. That's what it feels like. So it's so much better. I mean, I like the NHL, like I like watching hockey, but I hate watching press conferences for the NHL because it's just so cookie cutter and boring 99.9% of the time. And I think that's why people are probably drawn to a guy like Kimi. It's like, he's just going to tell you how he feels honestly, no filter. And that just makes it a lot more fun.
Get past Hulkenberg.
I know what I'm doing, so just be quiet.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit of a harder guy to work with, right? I can imagine you really have to actually be an excellent communicator if you're on his team. If like you're one of his managers or coaches or mechanics, you have to be not only direct with Kimi, but calm. And you can't take things personally, right? It's not personal with him.
Maybe in my contract there is that I'm not allowed, but
Do you not read the contract?
I don't care, you know. You need to do.
I saw that clip.
You're happy in their life and they know.
I faked an illness to get out of a PR appearance.
Yeah, this media stuff's not for him, right? He doesn't get off on the media stuff, right? And again, it's part of that attitude of like not caring to please others, not caring about his image. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Nate Diaz, if anyone watched the UFC. Very different people, but the same in the sense that they don't care about all the extra obligations around the actual sport itself.
All 4 tyres, please. Keep working all 4
Yes,
tyres.
yes, I'm doing all the time. So you don't have to remind every second. Leave me alone, I know what to do.
Massa has a drive-through penalty.
Why do we have a drive-through?
Massa has a penalty. Massa.
Okay.
Oh man. That okay was so loaded.
Okay.
I feel like that okay was like implying like why do I care if Massa has a penalty? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm off on that. But that's how I interpreted it. That's funny.
Päälle yrittäessään ottaa lähikuvaa Ferrari-kuskista. Räikkönen tuuppasi kuvaajan syrjään sellaisella voimalla, että...
Okay, so he definitely seems to have a short temper at times. That's what it seems like from this little compilation here. I know this is a little biased and they're showing like the classic moments here, but the guy seems like he has a little bit of a short fuse, to say the least.
Come on, get that McLaren out of the way.
We are on to Charlie now. We're on to Charlie now.
This guy is a f***ing show. That guy keeps pushing me off the circuit every time when I'm next to him. So if that's legal, then I will do the same next to him.
Understood. We're checking with Charlie.
I like that. I like that. The guy doesn't know if it's legal or not. Like, he hasn't read a rule book. He's like, just put me in the car and let me fucking drive. You know? That's his attitude.
The guy who scored most points. I told you already.
The guy who won the most points. That's the most technical, straightforward answer you can get. Now, I completely understand why so many people requested that I check this guy out, and I'm sure a lot of people love this guy, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't like the guy either, and they might think of him as a little bit too harsh, a little bit too confrontational. Maybe some people wished he cared more. So maybe there's some of that, but I can totally see why he would be a big-time fan favorite. Anyway, really enjoyed Kimi so far. We'll definitely check out more. I hope you guys enjoyed that reaction. Other than that, I appreciate you being here. My name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.